That's affirmative. Meet you down there in 5 minutes. All right, you got a handle to take care.
Okay, thanks for your help. I appreciate it. We'll talk again soon.
Thank you.
Titusville Emergency Operations Center, Chief Genneke speaking. May I help you?
Oh my gosh, yes, I need help. I'm a single mom and I just moved to Florida and now there's a hurricane and I don't know what to do.
I can give you information that will help you prepare for the emergencies, including the current storm, Hurricane Mabel. You have plenty of time to get ready to do whatever you need to do to prepare for the storm.
Boy, stop. But the hurricane already has a name and the weather map looks like it's going to hit us. Should I pack up my family and leave?
Well, let's go over a few things before you make that decision. First, for any emergency situation, you need to be informed. That means keeping track of weather reports and recommendations from the experts, but you also need to become knowledgeable of just what that information means. For example, a hurricane watch was just issued for Hurricane Mabel in the Caribbean.
But what does that mean?
Watches and warnings have different meanings and are used for all weather events, not just hurricanes. A watch lets you know that weather conditions are favorable for hazards to occur. It literally means be on guard. For wind events such as tropical storms and hurricanes, and because outside preparedness activities become difficult once winds reach tropical storm strength, watches are issued 48 hours in advance of the anticipated onset of a tropical storm force winds. A warning requires immediate action. This means a weather hazard is imminent. It is either occurring, for example, a tornado has been spotted, or it is about to occur at any moment. Both watches and warnings are important, but warnings are more urgent. Because outside preparedness activities become difficult once winds reach tropical storm force, warnings are issued 36 hours in advance of the anticipated onset of tropical storm force winds. Additional watches and warnings can be issued to provide detailed information on specific threats, such as floods and tornadoes.
All right, so now I know what the watch for Hurricane Mabel means. I've only got 48 hours.
Hold on, you need to evaluate what you heard and saw. The watch was issued for the Caribbean, not the eastern United States, so you've still got time to prepare. Let's take your preparations one step at a time. You'll keep informed by continuing to listen to weather updates and any information from local officials regarding evacuations, shelters, and other vital information so you can make informed decisions. Next thing you'll need to do is plan.
I've got a plan and it's to get in my car and go.
That's your choice, but first let's talk about basic protective measures for all the hazards you may face, because protective actions are very similar across many different types of hazards. You indicated you wanted to leave the area. Your physical safety is a concern for all hazards, and you'll need to make choices involving sheltering and evacuation.
What is sheltering?
Choosing to take appropriate shelter is necessary in many emergencies. Sheltering is appropriate when conditions require you to seek protection in your home, place of employment, or other location when disaster strikes. Sheltering outside the hazard area could include staying with friends and relatives, seeking commercial lodging, or staying in a mass care facility operated by disaster relief groups.
Then wouldn't it be best in all situations just to evacuate?
There are many situations, depending on the circumstances and the nature of the disaster, when it simply is best to stay where you are and avoid the uncertainty of the outside by sheltering in place. However, your physical safety is a concern for all hazards and is a determining factor for either sheltering or evacuating.
I think my house might be okay to stay in. It has hurricane shutters. Should I just pull them down? Would I be all right?
With just a few things to consider. Remove and safely store items that are in your yard, such as lawn chairs, tables, garbage cans, and grills, to avoid becoming flying missiles in the strong winds. When's the last time your trees were trimmed of dead branches?
I did that when I moved into my house a couple months ago.
Good, because the storm is too close now to trim them.
But if I hadn't, didn't you just say I still had a couple of days? So I could get it done if I had to, right?
Yes, but the city doesn't have the staff or equipment to pick up all the yard trimmings left on the streets if everyone waits until the last minute. That means any branches you put out for collection and are not picked up because of time and staff limitations become tossed around in high winds, or leaves and twigs float and block storm drains and lead to flooded streets.
Okay, I've picked up loose objects in my yard and stored and secured them, and my hurricane shutters are up. Am I good to go now?
One or two things, including putting together a kit and a communications plan.
What kind of kit are you talking about? A survival kit?
In a way, you and your family need to prepare, which includes stocking up on food, water, and other personal items that you'll need. Following a disaster, there may be power outages that could last several days, and municipal water supplies may be affected. We recommend making sure you have everything your family will need for at least 3 days. We also recommend gathering everything together in one kit so you're ready for any type of disaster whenever they may happen.
Boys, I'm on the phone. Is a supply kit expensive? I don't have extra money to buy things for a special kit. And what should I include in this kit?
Although you can buy prepared kits, almost everything you'll need in your kit you may already have at home. For example, consider the following things when putting together your emergency food supplies. Store at least a 3-day supply of food. Stocked canned goods, dry mixes, or other staples that do not require refrigeration, cooking, water, or special preparations. Be sure to include a manual can opener and eating utensils. Choose foods your family will eat, and remember any special dietary needs when stocking your kit. Avoid foods that make you thirsty, and choose salt-free crackers, whole grain cereals, and canned foods with high liquid contents. Water is an essential element to survival and a necessary item in any emergency supply kit. Store at least 1 gallon of water per person per each day. This will take care of average drinking and hygiene needs, but children, nursing mothers, and sick people may need more water, so plan accordingly. You don't need to purchase bottled or packaged water. You can clean empty 2-liter soda bottles with hot, soapy water and rinse well. If your water supply already adds chlorine to the drinking water, you just fill the bottle from the tap and seal and store. If not, add 2 drops of bleach to a gallon of water and then store the bottles. Use household bleach that contains no dyes, scents, or other cleaning agents.
If we might be without electrical power, then I need to include flashlights, matches, and candles in my kit, don't I?
Now you're thinking like a survivor. Other things you'll need to consider putting in your kit include a battery-operated emergency radio, special needs supplies such as medication, diapers, and pet food if you have pets, and fill the gas tank in your cars ahead of time and have a ready supply of cash in case electrical service is out and gasoline pumps and ATMs are not functioning after emergency is over. You'll also want to make sure you have your important legal papers.
I get it, like my home and vehicle insurance certificates, my will and power of attorney, birth certificates, and passports.
Exactly. Think of things that you don't want to have destroyed, may need while you're displaced, or will be difficult or impossible to replace.
Mom, what are you talking about? Is the big store coming here? What about our PlayStation 3? How can we help fill this?
Austin, I'll tell you about everything when I'm off the phone. I'm sorry.
That's gonna mean 10,000 million days.
Explaining to children in simple terms what you'll be doing and why is good. What is even better is to let them help you gather the items for your family's emergency kit and then have them put together their own special kit. Have them fill a pillowcase with their favorite stuffed animal or blanket, games, toys, and books. Doing so can make them feel more in control and also able to contribute to the preparations.
Okay, Austin and Brady, get a pillowcase and put your favorite game in it, and then tell you all the other things you can help with in just a few minutes.
Yay, we're helping! Let's go!
Is there anything else that I need to do besides what we've talked about so far?
The last thing you need to think about is putting together your family's communication plan. Emergencies can happen during all times, while family members are at work, at school, or other locations than your home. Decide with your family what will be your primary and secondary meeting places if a disaster occurs and how to reach everyone. Make a list of all your family's personal phone numbers, along with work and school numbers, Facebook or MySpace or other web-based communication sites. Determine an out-of-town or out-of-state contact person and their contact information that can act as a go-between, because usually local services are overwhelmed. Then make sure your family have copies of all this information and keep it with them. That's the basic information on the 3 steps you need to keep in mind. Make a plan, get a kit, and be informed. You can also go to FEMA.gov, FloridaDisaster.org, BrevardEM.com, or Titusville.com for additional emergency information.
Thanks. I appreciate all the safety information you've given me. The boys and I will get busy right away making our disaster preparations.
You're very welcome, and stay safe.